I would like to get you, Anu, and Mr. Vishwanathan here, just sort of taking it further from what Mr. Mehta just mentioned. He spoke about the interdependence between banks and fintechs and how one can't really do without another because the durability and sustainability of the entire structure really depends on it. But really talking about on the ground, do you think that is the relationship as cordial as it is made out to be, or is it a more love and hate relationship, or one can say a more frenemy relationship? Perhaps I would like to begin with you, Anu, and then go on to Ms. Vishwanathan. Yes.
Thank you, Shuja. Pleasure being here, and good morning to everyone. That's a great question to start with, Shuja. So, I was reading somewhere how the millennials are about to hit 40, the generation, and it's a social media generation, right? We have 10-minute food delivery and grocery apps. I mean, the latest is, do we need them at all? Do you want groceries in 10 minutes? So, a similar move is in the banking financial services space where it's push of a button on the app. I mean, that is ultimately the whole fintech moment. Now, of course, there is speed with the way banking happens, and there is a speed which is promised by the new age fintech players. And specifically, in the context of the question, there is a bit of a, when this whole thing started, fintech wasn't even a word 6 years ago. I recall it was always payments and settlement, which is why RBI's department is called payment settlements. And only 2 3 weeks ago they created a new department called fintech department. Whenever an innovation happens, it's first, let's see what this is, and let's see its usefulness. Let's either partner or let the ecosystem mature. So possibly, depending on which year you ask this question, the answer changes. Possibly 2 to 3 years ago, it was only a few banks who were extremely entrenched in the ecosystem, who were available always for things like bin sponsorships, things like opening accounts for payment companies, and which is why if you see Indian banking as a whole, and which is potentially where Yes Bank has played a great role in terms of incubating the entire fintech ecosystem from support standpoint. Uh, so a few banks have been ahead of the curve, at least in our experience of the ecosystem. Others gradually are coming up the curve in terms of realizing that this is not a threat, or this is not a Texas California gold rush in terms of maturity or background of the players involved. And lastly, also it's the people who today are involved in the fintech or even tech fin ecosystem. You no longer have graduates from management schools or technology schools at a certain age going to banks saying, "Will you partner with me?" If you see the trend, people move in the industry. And I was looking at this one trend report which came out from a very recognized HR outfit. Move has been from banks towards tech by and large. So, what this indicates is that the quality of manpower, human resources, which is now in the fintech world, is a lot different compared to what it used to be 3 to 4 years ago. So, to answer simply your question, today it is a lot more collaborative. 2 years ago, it was different. I mean, potentially 2 to 3 years down the line, it may be, who knows? I mean, potentially one may outweigh the other. But the way I see this today, it is fairly collaborative, and
So
the
where will the
recognition has.
balance skew? 2, 3 years down the line, it will be more in the favor of fintech than banks. One can say that.
See, banking has been there since the era of Medici's, Italy. I mean, so banking is not going anywhere. I strongly feel only the way of delivering banking services. I mean, you need a license to lend, right? A license to create debt, right? To push money. So till the activities are licensed, uh, banking as a ecosystem will continue. It's only the way you deliver the services which will become better.